Hello Yu-Gi-Oh players and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! In Business Casual. I'm your host, the RJB0, and this is not a butterfly knife. It's a multi-tool. I'm a nerd, not a gangster. What do you want from me? Anyway, today I want to complete my Finding Your Ideal Deck Type video series by waving a shiny metal object in your faces. No, why don't I just put this down so no RJs are hurt in the making of this film. Anyway, no, I want to finish off the Finding Your Ideal Deck Type video series with a very important, very, very special message. And that message is, chances are, within a given format, just based on the odds, you're probably not going to find a deck that matches your perfect, ideal, individual fingerprint deck type. Simply based on merit of the odds, which say that since you have 4 factors in finding your ideal deck type, which we will review as being your main win condition, your secondary supporting strategy, your playstyle, or your combo dependency. Those are the 4, and if you have 4 of those, and each one of them has at the very least 2 options, given a pool of decks, if you pull one out randomly, chances are it is not going to be your ideal deck type. In fact, the chances are very low. However, in practice, that is not necessarily true, because there is one specific deck type that seems to see play every format, which are decks that are based on toolboxing and combos, and usually aggro, occasionally control, but that deck type is kind of a dominant thing within the competitive sphere. There is always one of them, just based on merit of the fact that these decks tend to be fairly consistent, and they usually have some powerful play, whether it's an OTK or what have you, something very, very sustainable that keeps them throughout every format. But given that not everybody fits that ideal deck type specifically, chances are fairly low that you're going to find one that matches you perfectly. But the good news is that if you prioritize which one of these 4 is really the most important to you, you're very likely to find one that is very good for you, that is your best deck for that particular format. Not necessarily your best deck overall, but your ideal deck for that particular format. So basically what you want to do, this is actually really, really simple. What you can do is you can number your 4 factors. You can say, in my case, I absolutely have to have it be utility-based, or not utility-based, the other one, toolbox-based. And from there, I can say that's priority number 1, and then I have priorities number 2, 3, and 4. And if I do that, I can start with, well, which decks in this format are really into toolboxing? Well, let's see. Most of them are, actually. Mermails, Fire Fist, Harpies, Geargia to some degree. Actually, to a lot of degree. I meant Harpies still to some degree. Anyway, there are a lot of those. And then I can go, well, what's my second one? And then I can kind of narrow down the search to find the one that matches my ideal deck type the best. And once you do that, you're actually probably going to find a deck that actually runs really smoothly for you. Chances are you're not going to find one that's absolutely perfect for you. I mean, every format, somebody finds their ideal deck type just because that's the way that things work. But in this way, you can find a deck, basically every format, that conforms to some degree to your ideal deck type. So once you find your ideal deck type, which you can do by viewing the rest of the videos in this series, and then just kind of numbering out what your priorities are, you can probably, based on those numbers, find a deck, this format, that works really well for you. Whether it's through the more utility end, like Constellar's Evil Swarms, or the more toolboxy end, like Mermail's Fire Fist, chances are you're going to be finding something that works for you. So go ahead and go do that. Find a deck for this format that works for you, and chances are you're going to be a very competitive player. Of course, it takes playtesting. You're not going to pick it up and immediately know how to play, but chances are it's going to be a lot easier for you. In every format, you're going to find something like that that works for you. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, let me know why in the comments section below. And then, of course, subscribe for more deck discussion, analysis, and general Yu-Gi-Oh! Shenanigans. Meanwhile, thank you guys for watching Yu-Gi-Oh! In Business Casual. I cannot do that in one breath anymore. I'm your host, the RJB0, and I got a jet. See you guys.